every RU class we have is now videotaped. And so my grade's running late, so I got to do it myself. All right, we are on step 4 in the 14 steps of RU. It does not work until you work it. Does not work until you work it. That's probably a pretty good statement for just about anything. We are on page 3 today. I'm going to do page 3, our lesson. It's going to be a little more practical lesson, and that's okay. That's what RU is about. Getting tools to improve our lives and get a handle on some stuff in our lives. And this one is how to be consistent at anything. How to be consistent at anything. What we mean by work it, your Bible reading doesn't work unless you do it. What you read, do. Your prayer life doesn't work unless you actually have prayer time. Going to church doesn't work unless you work in your church. Again, I'm going to say it again. I know we've already had this. If you just sit in the pew, you're not going to get a whole lot out of church. You're not. You have to be involved. And so church doesn't work unless you work it. And so we want to be consistent in our Bible reading. We want to be consistent in our church attendance. We need to be consistent in our prayer time. But there's also other things in life we need to be consistent in. And so this lesson is how to be consistent at anything. You know, your job, whatever it is. First of all, set goals. Set goals. The Bible tells us that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. A person who doesn't know for sure what it is that he wants to do. One day I want to do this. Next day I want to do this. You have no set goals in your life. You're just going to go back and forth. Wherever the wind blows, wherever the waves blow you, that's where you're going to go. The Bible says that before a man builds a house, he has plans. I remember one time I bought those sheds that you put together. You know, they ship you all the wood and the roof and the shingle, everything. It's just a whole kit. And they bring it, they drop it off. And they say, you can get it done in 1 weekend. 4 weekends later, I had it done. Now, my wife kept saying, are you going to look at the plans? Why do I need... I'm building a shed. Why do I need to do that? I don't need to look at it. So my best friend and I, he comes and we're hammering and nailing, we're putting everything together. And then finally we go to put the roof together, you know, the boards for the roof. And when we went to go put them together, they didn't match. Big gaps. I'm trying to figure out, what in the world? Why won't this work? Why doesn't it work? So I went back to the directions, and the first thing it said is when you put the bottom down, make sure that it is square.
Yeah.
What? It wasn't square. Well, I didn't have time to, I should have, but I didn't have time to go and fix it all because I had all this. And so we did a lot of caulking and Hey, I drove by. That's been maybe 20 years. I drove by and that shed's still there. Still standing.
It's still like this.
It's all caulked together. I had to caulk all the holes. See, I didn't follow the plans. The Bible says, what kind of people go to war, go to battle without a plan? Losers. The French. That's who. When you go to battle, you got a plan. What kind of person does not have a plan, a goal in their life? One who's not successful. One who's not consistent. I want to read my Bible, so what's your plan? I want to go to church, so what's your plan? What's your goals? I want to be consistent in my prayer time, so what's your plans? What's your goals? Anybody can say, I want to do something. It's the how that matters. So have goals. Whatever it is you say you want to do or accomplish in your life, have goals. Now, it's not in here, and it might be, but when you make your goal, make little goals to reach your goal. Okay? So, I don't know, let's say, I want to save $1,000. That's a good thing. I want to save $1,000. Put it in an envelope, put it in my drawer, so I can get $1,000. To get there, say by this date I want this amount of money. And by this date I want this amount. And have little goals. Little goals to reach your big goal. Always do that. Why? One, it's psychological. As you begin to accomplish your little goals, you get excited. You feel better. I'm getting somewhere. 2, nobody can go like this. It's just not possible. It's not possible. Every year, every football team, what is their goal?
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Do they just show up in August for training camp and then the next day, we're in the Super Bowl? No. There's little goals they have to hit. Little things they have to do till they get there. All right? Next one. Have a morning, afternoon, and evening ritual. Well, we learn consistency with daily routines, not weekly ones. Especially teenagers. Learn this as a teenager. It'll help you when you're adults. Have routines. Routines help you be consistent. If you don't have a routine, then there's times when you're going to say, I don't know what we're going to have for dinner tonight. Or, I don't know how we're going to pay our bill. Or, I don't know what we're doing tonight or today. Or, oh, I forgot to brush my teeth. Children are great for that. What do you always have to do to get your children to learn to do things, to brush their teeth? Have a nighttime routine. Okay, at this time you do this. You go take your shower. This time you put on your pajamas. This time when you do that, you brush your teeth. Have a bedtime routine. Routine breeds consistency. By the way, I can't even get my own son to do this. But the sooner you learn this, the better you're going to be in life. And guys, you're going to hear me say it all the time, and those who take it, get better. You have a better life. You're more successful. You're not going to like this. Go to bed at the same time. Get up at the same time. Every day. Your body needs consistency when it comes to sleep. You'll have more energy. You'll get more done. Say, well, I need to stay up because I'm not done with this. No, it's bedtime. Because when you go to bed and you get up at the same time, you'll have the energy, the mind, everything you need to finish whatever it is you need to finish. Especially nowadays, people get home, they get on the internet, they get on the video games, and their bedtimes vary. Some of them come to school and they've never been to bed. And their sleep time is during math, or history, or lunch. Go to bed at the same time every day. Get up every day at the same time. We need consistency. Consistency breeds consistency and success. Say, well, I don't know when I'm going to have my prayer time because I stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if I can make it to church because I stayed up till 3 in the morning. I don't know if I can work in my church because I never know when I'm going to be awake or asleep. The first thing you can do to change your life, to bring consistency, is go to bed at the same time, get up at the same time. Every day. Take my challenge. Try that for 90 days. See if it doesn't change your life. It will. I had to learn it the hard way. It works. It works. Then all of a sudden, you start having consistency with your prayer time. Matter of fact, it makes your prayer time better because you're not doing this. It makes your reading of the Bible better because you're not doing this. It makes your work in the church better because you have the energy. You have the time to serve God. Because see, we don't think we have time because we're always trying to catch up our time. If we're not trying to catch it up all the time, now I got time to serve God. It is a tool of the devil. I hate using that. But it's a tool of the devil to steal your time. And how does he do it? By making you inconsistent with your sleeping patterns. That's what he does. Read the book of Proverbs about the sluggard and his sleeping patterns. It's all through it. It'll change your life. If you go to bed at the same time, get up at the same time. Have a morning ritual. Have an afternoon ritual. Have an evening ritual. It'll keep you consistent. Now, doesn't mean you can change it here and there. You can. There's times things happen. But you should have consistency. Next one. Do what has to be done, even if you do not feel like it. You wouldn't believe how I have to kick myself in the butt to do that. I don't feel like taking out the trash. I don't want to do it, but it has to be done.
It can wait till later.
That's true. That's what people say. It can wait till later. Was it Benjamin Franklin that said, don't put off tomorrow what can be done today? It's the truth. Do what has to be done, even the little things. Because little things end up becoming big things. The Bible says, what you find in your hand to do, what? Do it. What you find in your hand to do, do it. That means if it needs to be done, do it. Even when you don't feel like it. I do not feel like all the time getting up and helping Sean Patrick with his math. Well, I can't help him with his math. That's his mom. Whenever math comes up, I say, go see your mom. But his history or his spelling, I don't feel like it, but it needs to be done. It needs to be done. You'll get more done in your life. You'll get more done with your time when you do what needs to be done. If it needs to be done, do it. Even when you don't feel like it, even if it's a little thing. You walk into the kitchen and there are dishes that need to be done. You don't feel like it. It's a little thing. Do it. You're teaching yourself to accomplish things. You're teaching yourself to accomplish things. We don't get things done because we put them off. Now, the next one. I said it's misspelled. I don't know why I said be quiet.
Quite.
Quite, but it's quit. Do not quit on yourself, even if others have quit on you. Don't quit on yourself, even if other people have quit on you. And there will be people who quit on you. They will. But don't you quit on yourself. You're not done with you until you are done. Until I come and see you in a wooden box, you're not done with you. There's always improvements. There's always things you can work on. And keep working. Keep struggling. That's the key word. Keep struggling. Keep going forward. And everyone else might give up on you. That's okay. Don't you give up on you. Don't ever say, well, this is just who I am. As soon as those words come in your mouth, get on your knees. Because you need help. You've quit. God never gives up on you. Don't give up on you. You want to be consistent at something? Don't quit on it. I want to be consistent in my prayer time. You find that you're not. So, don't quit. Find a new way. Come at it at a different angle. But consistently try to do it. It'll happen. Whatever it is. I really want to get an A in algebra. Don't quit. Right, Jimmy?
That's right.
Don't quit. Oh, I just can't do it. I quit. Then you never will. If you quit on you, you'll never be successful. Never. And I can tell you story after story where people quit on somebody or told them they couldn't do something or you can't accomplish this, you'll never succeed. And that person just wouldn't let it go in their head. And look how successful they are. And you guys know those stories. You'll never be an NFL football player. And yet they are. You'll never own your own business. And yet they do. Because they did not quit on themselves. Did they have setbacks? You better believe they did. But they just never quit. Anybody can quit anything at any time. But they're never successful. So many people start college and then they quit. So many people start a marriage and then they quit. Many people start on a road to do something like a business or whatever it is, and then they quit. If that's what you really want to do, if that's what you really want to be successful at, don't quit. Doesn't mean there's going to be hardships. It doesn't mean that you might have to delay and come back around at it in a different way. But that's what you're going to do. Don't quit. Let's see, I'm not going to get all of these. Next, I'm going to look at this one. Let go of your past mistakes. Learn from them, but do not beat up yourself about them. Let go of your past mistakes. I really wanted to be involved in church. And I let that opportunity slip away. So there's no more opportunities? That one's gone. Or you say, you know, I really wanted to witness to that person and I tried and I really messed it up. So I'm never going to do it again. I'm just horrible at this. I wanted to get up this morning and have prayer time, and I slept through. What an idiot I am. I'm a horrible person. I'm a horrible Christian. And the whole time you're beating yourself up, you know what you could have had at that time? Prayer time. Thank you. Let go of your past. Just let it go. Learn from it. What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? What could I have said better? And this goes with anything. It's not just spiritual. It's everything. What could I have done better? Learn from your past, but let it go. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. You have a future that you want to succeed at. Okay, maybe you failed there, but you have a future you want to succeed at. If you keep hanging on to your past, you're never going to go forward. Jesus said, the person who's plowing and looks back is what? Not worthy of him. Because you're always looking your past, your future does what? It just wanders. I messed up, but I'm going forward. I'm not going to do that again. And that I've said that before. One thing I've learned, I'm not going to do that because that doesn't work. But I'm going forward. Determine that in your mind. I'm going to go forward. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to learn not to be in this situation. I'm going to learn not to be around that person anymore. You may have to do that. But I'm going to learn and go forward. I'm not going to look at my past or let my past hold me back. And people will tell you that you can't do this because of your past. Baloney. You can. Paul was a murderer. And they said to Paul, you can't be an apostle. Look at your past. Was Paul an apostle?
No.
Yes, he was. Paul, what are you preaching to us? You used to kill us. Paul let go of his past and went forward. You can still succeed in spite of your past. Read the Bible. How God used prostitutes. Former prostitutes, but prostitutes. Drunkards. Peter cursed God. Said, I don't know who you're talking about. And what does Jesus say to him? Peter, you love me? Yes. I got something for you to do then. Let go of your past, Peter. I got stuff for you to do. And there will be people who constantly tell you, you can't do this because of your past, because of what you did before. If God can use murderers, people who curse him, prostitutes, guess what? He can use you. So let go of that past. Learn from it, but don't let it hold you back. And go on. And you'll be consistent at stuff. See, we're inconsistent because we keep saying, I can't do this because of this. And you lug that around. Quit lugging it around. I can't be this for God because I was a cokehead. Or I'm an addict and I still struggle with it. I haven't used for a while, but I still struggle with it. So God can't use me. I can't be successful. Baloney. That comes from Satan himself. Don't let your past stop you. Last one. I'm going to skip all the way down. Know your motivation. In order to be consistent, you need to know why you're doing this. You know, I'm doing the weight loss program thing, right? You know one of the reasons I made it the fundraiser that I did? Because I needed a motivation. To me, losing 20 pounds was not enough motivation to give up brownies and Pepsi. I love my brownies. I love my Pepsis. I love snacking during football games. I needed a bigger motivation. And to raise $1,000 for the church was a good enough motivation for me to starve myself to death so I could lose 20 pounds. And so today they brought in a bunch of donuts. And I was so tempted because they had several that were my favorite. And I even stood there and thought about it for a while. And I had to remember my motivation. I'm trying to raise money for the church. I can't eat that donut. I'm trying to raise money for the church. What is your motivation? Why is it that I'm doing this? Why am I going to college? And keep that before you. Remind yourself. Keep your motivation. I'll ask people that. Why are you doing what you're doing? I'm supposed to. It's not a good enough motivation. I'm supposed to won't make it when it gets hard. Why do I have my prayer time? Because that's what they keep telling me I need. It's not going to make it. If I say to myself, my motivation is I want a better relationship with God. I want to be deeper in my spiritual life with God. I want my relationship with God deeper. Guess what? That's my motivation. That's why I do what I do. It'll work. That's my motivation. When I was working in the factory, I hated it. And I wanted to get out so bad. It was so horrible. And I'd have to ask myself every morning, why am I doing this? Oh, my kids need to eat. My kids need clothes. They need a home. And it got so bad, I took their pictures. I have a picture of them, the three of them. Jonathan's here, Justin's here, and then Jalen's being held by Justin. It's a really cute picture. And I had to tape it on my machine. And every day I would look at it and say, oh, that's why I'm here. And then after a while, people would say, why did he take that? They'd come in and say, why did he take that picture on a machine? And everyone would answer, that's the only reason why he's here. Right there. That was my motivation. That was my motivation to do a good job there. That was my motivation to wake up in the morning. That was my motivation to go to work for my kids. Ask yourself, why do I want to do this? Most Christians are failures in their spiritual life because they do not know why they have to do what they do or why they're doing what they're doing. Why should I go to church? If my only motivation to go to church is because people tell me I'm supposed to, it will not be good enough. And that's why you're hit and miss. If your only motivation to go out on visitation or any other ministry is because it makes me look good in front of people, that's not good enough. You're not going to be consistent because that's not a good enough motivation. Especially not a good motivation if you go out on visitation and you knock on doors and somebody starts yelling at you and cussing at you. To look good in front of people, that's not a good enough motivation to be there on Saturdays. I'm not getting up to do that. I'm not going, who hasn't said that? I'm not getting up this morning to go on visitation just to have somebody yell at me. Your motivation was wrong. You want to be consistent at something, stop, talk to yourself, why do I want to do this? Why do I want to stop taking drugs? You got to ask yourself that. If you don't have a good enough motivation, it won't work. Why do I want to stop drinking? Why do I want to go to college? Why do I want my diploma? Why do I want to marry this girl? What's my motivation? What's your motivation? See, if you don't have the real reasons or a good reason for doing what you're doing, you'll be inconsistent. You'll just go wherever the wind blows you, wherever your emotions take you, what everyone else is doing. To be consistent at something, you have to know why. Again, I'll go back. The Bible tells us those who want to build a house has a plan. Those who go to battle have a plan. If you build a house, you know why you're doing what you're doing. I know why I have to put the foundation the way it is. I know why I have to set it over here. You go to battle. I know why I need my army on that hill. I know why they're sending me over here. So you got a plan. They know their motivation. Want to be consistent. You follow this list. There's different things, but this is the best one. I've ran out of time. Be a finisher, not a starter. Anyone can start. Success is finishing. Everybody starts. Every January 1st, everyone starts a diet, right? Anybody can start a diet. Anyone can start a business. Anybody can start going to church. Anyone can start reading their Bible. Anyone can start saying, I'm going to stop using drugs. We don't have enough finishers. Again, we'll go back to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it, because that teaches you to be a finisher. You start a job, finish it. No matter how little it is, it teaches you to be a finisher. My grandfather was famous for that. That's how I learned it. My grandfather, whatever he did, and people kept trying to say to him, well, you need to do this. No, I can't. I have to finish this. He was a finisher. Jennifer, my wife, I love her to death, but when she cleans the house, she'll start cleaning in the kitchen, and then she'll walk into the front room and start cleaning the front room. And then she'll walk into the bathroom and start cleaning the bathroom. And at the end of the day, what has she gotten done? Nothing. When you're in a room, finish it. Be a finisher. Whatever you do, be a finisher. Paul writes, and I'm sorry, I had to end it with this. Paul writes, I ran a good fight.
Yes.
Grace. I fought a good fight. He did it to the end. He finished. He finished. I finished the fight. He was ready to go. I finished it. Be a finisher. Start with small things first and finish them. Anybody can set goals. Anybody can start on goals. Be a finisher. No matter how small it is. All right, I went way over. We'll give you guys